What's on the menu for today?
Welcome into Thanksgiving weekend edition of the OUA. As always, Connor O'Neill, Wade Zanketta, bring you guys all of the games, all of the action for the OUA slate this week. 3 teams on bye, of course, Ottawa, Carleton after the Panda game, and Queens as well. So we have a short week this week, Connor, but still lots of excitement.
Yeah, tons of excitement. And we're going to start that off in, obviously, the Battle of Waterloo, the Thursday night game to kick off this Thanksgiving weekend. I could not be more excited about this game. Quarterback matchup, that's all I'll say.
And I mean, with Laurier, they had a tough road trip to Windsor. Obviously, they won that, but now they come back on a short week in the biggest game of the year. I'm interested to see how this Golden Hawks team rebounds physically. I know mentally they'll be prepared. Coach Falds always has them checking all the boxes, but physically on a short week, high emotion, how do they look early in this game?
Yeah, I'm definitely with you on that. That's one thing I'm going to be watching, especially because we talked about it last week with the Panda, and I know it's not the same scale. It's not a 20,000 person scale, but still, this is one of those games in the OUA where box scores, stats, records don't matter. This is an absolute battle, to use a bad pun. It is a battle of a game, and it's going to be a fun atmosphere. But yeah, short week for Laurier, so I want to see how they come out. But also, as of late, we've seen more of the rookie side of Nolan Cavan at Waterloo. So I want to see kind of how he's going to bounce back. That 400-yard game, don't get me wrong, 400 yards is impressive, but I want to see 400 yards and a win.
Yes, they're going to look to cut down the turnovers. 2 other teams looking to get into the win column, the McMaster Marauders taking on the Guelph Griffins Friday night. We have no Saturday games this week in the OUA, just a bunch of Fridays and the one Thursday night we just covered off. But for the Guelph Griffins and McMaster Marauders, they're trying to get the air games going. McMaster has one of the highest volume passing attacks, but it is not translating to wins. Meanwhile, Guelph, Connor, where are they going at quarterback?
That's a question we will have to wait until Friday to see. But man, my thing for Guelph in this one is they have shown flashes of being capable of being a really good team. But I want to see them get to the red zone, because this has been my thing with them all year. They're efficient in the red zone. They're 10 of 11 in the red zone, but 11 times in the red zone. It's not enough. Western, who leads U Sports, not just the OUA, has been there 25 times.
Yeah, it's certainly a big jump in statistics when you look from Guelph to Western. But we'll move on. The Windsor Lancers looking to rebound from their loss to Laurier, traveling to the York Lions, who suffered quite a defeat to Queens Gales, led by Alex Freakin last week.
Yeah, they certainly did, and it doesn't really get a whole lot easier. Unfortunately, Windsor has proven to be a pretty dang good team this year. On the ground, I'll say anyways, Joy Zorn absolutely lighting up the league. I want to see how York obviously is going to handle that, but how are they going to respond in their own right?
And with Windsor, they're another team, just like Guelph, where they don't really have a set game plan at quarterback. As we get into the final weeks of this season, that is going to determine who is a threat in the playoffs or not. So the Lancers, Coach JP Cercelli, are going to look to figure that one out prior to Thanksgiving. And the final matchup, the Western Mustangs heading to the Toronto Varsity Blues. It's the first time that Western and Toronto have matched up since I think like my second year or first year at U of T.
Oh, lucky you.
I know we avoided them quite a bit. But the Western Mustangs are bringing in a strong run game as always. But Evan Hillock has been heating up the accuracy charts. There's a whole lot of red on his metric charts right now. They're going to keep that going this week, I think, against Toronto.
Yeah, man, this is an absolute display of efficiency on offense from Western. We talk about it week in, week out. So I'm going to talk about the defensive side of the ball. They have some absolute playmakers on the back end. 4 interceptions alone from Daniel Valenti, and he just patrols that secondary back there. So they're going to also not only have to be aware of this run game, but Western has a great defense in their own right.
And for Toronto, keep doing what you're doing. If you have any hope at beating the Western Mustangs, you need to do it through Adam Williams. Not just the reigning OUA Player of the Week, the reigning U Sports Player of the Week on offense. Adam Williams has been playing lights out. Whenever they give him the rock, good things happen. So for Toronto, live through Adam.
Just an interesting stat here before we move on. I know I said I wasn't going to talk about the running backs this week, but I'm going to do it. All three running backs in this game of Keon Edwards, Edward Winati, and Adam Williams all average over 8 yards a carry.
So if you're looking for a quick game, this one might be that, because the clock is going to be running nonstop as these teams grind out the ground games. That's it though for this week. If you guys are getting together with families, please stay safe, drive responsibly, call a cab, Uber, wherever you are in your city. Please take care of yourselves and be responsible. Enjoy the family time, football, family, and food. That's what Thanksgiving is all about. As always, Connor and I are here to recap it after the week. So enjoy, and we'll see you at the end of it.
And if you do want to catch those games with your friends and family, you can do so on OUA TV. Make sure to go over there. All games, multiple games, whatever you want. There's games all weekend. Check those out on OUA TV.